good morning, everyone. Welcome to Street Talk Radio Show with your host, Natasha Nicole, and my beautiful co-host who is joining us on the phone this morning because she is out campaigning, Gigi for Senate. Gigi, are you there?
Yes, my beautiful Natasha. I am here out in Everett, Washington.
Yes.
How are you this morning?
Wonderful, Queen. How are you?
I am exhausted, but I know the end result is going to be worth it.
There you go. Sleep comes to no man.
All right. How are you doing this morning, Queen?
I am doing wonderful. Happy to be back in the studio. That's for sure.
I was about to say, glad to have you back in the studio. I missed you last week.
Yes, ditto on that one. Jennifer, what is our topic this morning? I know we discussed a couple things on my ride in and your ride out.
Let's see. I think we decided on assumption.
Wonderful.
Was that the one we decided on?
That sounds good to me. Since we've both been going through a little bit of people assuming.
Well, yes. But, I'm even thinking more along the lines of politics and in meeting people out on the street.
Okay.
And what I'm hearing, and some of it bothers me because I haven't heard this type of communication before. And I think part of it has to do with our current administration. Maybe people thought it before, but now they feel like they have the opportunity to talk about it,
okay,
or freedom to talk about it. But assumption, it's frustrating for me because people are making assumptions that, one, it is predominantly black people who are black mothers who are on welfare, when statistically that is totally wrong. Per capita, black women are less on welfare because very often black women will work 2 and 3 jobs to support their family.
Right.
And so I'm hearing a lot of people, and some people actually have the audacity to walk up and tell me no more free money. And I want to know, where's the free money? And they say, And I'm thinking, if I knew, I would go get some. Where's the free money, and is it legal, and is it moral?
Let me know when you find it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you know. So it's an assumption that black people especially are getting all of these handouts, when in reality they're not. And they're not taking handouts like people think, and it's like we go back to those youth who received all of the college scholarships and were admitted into all of these colleges. And people are assuming, some, that they're getting in on programs that allow minority students in, and therefore a white student will lose their seat. No, these kids are coming in with 4.0 GPAs, high numbers on their SATs, and they're not taking anyone's seat. They've earned their place. So there's a lot of assumptions going around, and I think those assumptions are being put out there intentionally to cause a lot of division in our country, because people are beginning to wake up and realizing that the 1% are really enslaving all of us who don't fit into their category. And let me say that again. The top 1 to 2% are enslaving all of us, just at different levels. And they don't want us to come together, because if we come together, 98% of us can overthrow the 99,
Right, the other 1 or 2%.
1 to 2%, yes.
Got you. So
that's kind of where I am.
Okay, so I know the Gigi for Senate is definitely coming out this morning. She wants to talk about the politics and how she is feeling. She's a little upset this morning.
And it's just not how I'm feeling.
It's reality.
What people's realities are today, and their realities are based on false assumptions. Or Trump, based on his reality of the world, and I have not been able to get it out of my mind. I don't know if you heard it, Tosh, or if other listeners have heard it, but Trump said the other day, I've had a hard life. I really had a hard life. My dad gave me $1 million and told me to start a business.
Right. I recall that.
There's people that work 60, 70 hours a week that in their lifetime will not make $1 million.
I agree. Maybe he should have rephrased that, because maybe because he was so young and got so much money at one time, it was a struggle for him to deal with how he was going to spend it, where he was going to put it in order to build his success. And we know I'm not a Trump supporter, so I'm not playing devil's advocate, but I'm just trying to make everyone maybe see the whole picture.
Okay, so let's look at it. Well, and we can say, he was still staying in real estate, and he was going against, his father's will, because, Trump saw making money in low-income areas, a way of making money, and his father didn't. But he still had the basic skills, because he was with his dad when his dad was making the deal. He still had food, clothing, and shelter.
Correct.
He still knew no matter what he did with that $1 million, he still had a bed to sleep in and food on the table, and he wouldn't be sleeping under the stars with a plastic bag over him at night.
Right.
So for me, his assumption, his reality is based on the 1% reality. And those are the people, and maybe 5% of the people, are the ones who are making the laws for us. And their reality isn't the same reality as those of us who are working and trying to make paycheck to paycheck and trying to put a little bit on the side to save for when we retire.
That I would definitely agree with. That makes a lot of sense.
And so then that takes me to the point of, why do we keep putting millionaires in office when millionaires can't relate to us?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to KLAY 1180 AM, and or KLAY 1180.com. Natasha, would you give them the phone numbers to call in, please? Because I would like someone to help me understand these questions.
That would definitely be awesome. 253-581-0324 or 253-833-2936. It would be super awesome if a Trump supporter could call in and give some insight. I'm trying to understand their mindset, if that makes any sense.
Well, actually, I can't even say it's just a Trump supporter. How many Democrats are voting for millionaires?
Right. You're right.
Majority of even Washington legislators are millionaires.
So a lot of us elect others.
It's not a majority, a good portion. Like, I know Denny Heck is one of the top 5. Cantwell is up there. Why do we keep putting people in office that don't understand our day-to-day life? And their bills show they don't understand our day-to-day life.
Right.
You know, it behooves me. And for me, I also, because I'm a black woman, what makes you think you qualify?
Wow.
Excuse me? What makes you think I don't qualify?
Wow.
And so I find, for me, I'm constantly having to prove that I qualify for the seat that I'm going after.
Well, I think that's been my whole life. I've always had to prove myself. I've had to prove myself in everything. Any job that I've ever had, I have to get in there and show that I'm capable of doing this. And a lot of times, I've started at the bottom and worked myself all the way to the top. Done that a few times.
You know, my grandmother used to say, baby, being black, you have to have twice as much education, twice as much knowledge, and the capacity to do the job twice as good as whoever you're going up against for a position. So prepare yourself.
Wow.
And that sounds like what you're saying.
No, so Mick here at the station, he just brought in an awesome thing that he found out on Google, of course, for the average campaign cost. And Gigi, this kind of ties into what you were just talking about. So I'm just going to read that, and then Gigi, you can chime in where you see fit on this. So it says, entrenched members of Congress are also urged to donate their unneeded campaign funds to other candidates or to the political parties to spend where they see fit. Senate seats were also more expensive than ever in 2012. The average cost was $10.4 million for victorious candidates.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yes. And people don't understand why it costs so much money. It costs money because airtime. It costs money because for a Senate race, you need to have more than one office. So that means rent for more than one office, utilities for more than one office,
right,
phones for more than one office, paid staff for more than one office. Probably about 3 to 4, at least 2 minimum around the state. Then you have some paid, and the printing is outrageous. Plus, you have to have the graphic design.
Well, I think the part of that why he brought it in here was that first half, not the expenses a person would spend to get into the seat, but once they're in the seat, they're supposed to donate money out. Do you think that's
Yeah.
happening?
As a matter of fact, I know 60, once they are in the U.S. Congress, which is part of the reason I refused one of them to run as a Democrat or a Republican, is they have to spend 60% of their day raising money for the party.
For the party, right. Not for their
For
campaign.
no, for the party.
Right.
And when I say 60% of the day, I mean they're supposed to give minimum of 5 figures a day to the party.
Wow.
So once you even get in office, you have to pay to supposedly move up to higher level seats within Congress and within Congress. That's the House and the Senate. So either the more money you bring in, the better your office. The more money you bring in, the more you're able to rise. The more money you bring in, the more they give you primetime television.
That makes a lot of sense.
When people ask why is Pelosi still where she is, probably because she's bringing in money.
So it's not because what she's doing for the people. It's because of the finances that she brings into the party.
That's how they move them up.
I just learned something today.
That's the reason our government is messed up. Just like Pelosi said on news, because we've been calling it out. I've been calling it out. Others have been calling it out. What they are doing and the fact, and their paperwork that says, how did she put it? She says, we have a right, as a Democrat, they have the right to choose who they want to be in office.
The party does.
Hello?
The party does, not the people, the party.
Correct. And then we wonder why, one, they're losing, but both parties do the same. They put their money behind who they want. But it's frustrating. But the only way we're going to change that is by breaking the party system. There's no place in the Constitution that says we're supposed to have parties. The Democrats and Republicans created this party. The people drank the Kool-Aid, bought into it, and are scared to let these parties go. But these parties are not working in our best interest.
Crazy. They drink the Kool-Aid. That cracks me up.
They drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was right.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They did. That's for sure, because it definitely causes a lot of separation. I think political parties cause just as much separations as race issues, honestly.
Yes. Yes. And I think, I know for the 2016-2017 election in Tacoma, I kept hearing some Democrats say, I'm in the mayoral race for Tacoma. Some people are just a one-party issue or a one-issue voter.
Right.
Well, what's the difference in being a one-issue voter and being a one-party voter?
Yeah, I know people that are one-party voters. They're solid Republicans or solid Democrats, And it doesn't matter what it is, if it's morally wrong or right. Because they're a Republican, they're going to vote Republican. Because they're a Democrat, they're going to vote Democrat.
Correct.
I know people personally that send money off to the Democratic Party, but won't offer a homeless man a sandwich on the street. But are faithful.
And don't know where their money is going.
Right.
I've had people tell me when I ran as a Democrat that they donated to my campaign, and I went, I didn't see your name. They said, well, I donated it to the Democratic Party. I said, well, then you donated it to my opponent. You didn't donate it to me. Because the Democratic Party will not give me access to anything. The Democratic Party has not been welcoming because I dare to run against an incumbent. But an incumbent who, for me, is not doing anything for black, brown, or poor people.
Agreed.
And up until, I believe, 2017, had not written a bill in 9 years. But when I declared that I was running against her, and I filed as a Democrat, then she starts working on bills.
Interesting.
We don't need anyone, Democrat or Republican, that only votes for the people the year that it is time for them to run. We don't need people in office that only work for the people that they're representing when it's within months of their campaign or a year of their campaign.
That makes sense.
That's not what we need.
That makes sense.
But that's all people pay attention to.
That's true. How do we fix that, Jennifer?
We are,
How do we fix that?
Well, I think we're doing it partially by having the discussion on the radio, and we need to get those pushed out more. But most of the people are not having the discussion. I'm having the discussions with people out here on many issues. I'm challenging people's thinking. I may not get their vote, but at least I'm challenging how they think and how they make decisions. And who knows, I may end up with their vote. Because if I can get them to think differently than how they've been thinking, then maybe they'll begin to see our world differently than how they've been looking at it. And that's where we have to begin. And we need multiple parties.
We do.
I've been endorsed by Washington State Green Party. I've been endorsed by South Sound Green Party. I've been endorsed by Demand Universal Health Care. And we're working on some others. And I sit on the Progressive Caucus with the Democratic Party, and I have not submitted an application. And I haven't submitted an application because I don't want anyone to come back and in any way, shape, or form say, you owe us. The Green Party was very clear in what they asked. They asked that I see them so many times a year. Well, their platform is very, very much like my platform. Why wouldn't I have a problem seeing them? As a matter of fact, while I'm talking about platform, did you know that President John F. Kennedy, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and Bernie Sanders basically have the same platform?
Right, but only one is still living.
Platform I have.
Right, but only one is still living.
And I believe Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated right after he started the Poor People's Campaign. And President John F. Kennedy was going right along with that, and he was gone a few months later. Now we're talking some years down the road, and though we're trying to break up the party, and Bernie Sanders is talking the same thing, and that's part of the reason I supported him, because he was talking when I was talking.
Right.
I think we're in a new season and at a new time. I think a lot of people are starting to wake up. Does it mean the 1% is awake? No.
Of course not.
They're coming after us with everything they have. But I know who I serve, and I know who keeps me.
There you go.
So I know I'm not doing this for the 1 or 2%. I'm doing this because I care about the children.
Mm-hmm.
Because I care about the water and the air that we breathe.
Yes.
Because I care about people. I care about food, clothing, and shelter. I care about an equal education for everyone. Yes. I care about a job guarantee. I care about our seniors and seniors not being able to get medication or not eat or not pay a bill. I care about the black women who are losing their homes to reverse mortgages. That based on one of like CBS or one of those is at an epidemic proportion. Black women. Didn't say it about anyone else. They said black women.
They did.
Which means black women are targeted.
They did.
Which means the black community is targeted.
Correct.
Because they're trying to take the land back.
Right.
Just like they're trying to take the land back from the Native Americans.
Right.
So, there's so much working in here and working against us, and I want to do this to fight for the people. That's what I'm doing this for, and I'm not trying to make a career of it. I loved being a therapist. I'm not trying to make a career of being a politician, but I do. And by the way, politician does mean servant.
It does. Yes, it does.
I want to help bring up our youth.
And there you go, guys. There you go. It is the end of our show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Street Talk Radio Show, Natasha Nicole, Jennifer Gigi for Senate. See you next week, guys.